So I hear 2026 is officially the new 2016, so it's time to bring back the cut creases, the warm tones, and those iconic Morphe 35C vibes. And I'll be honest, I never really stopped doing this style of makeup, but my techniques have definitely improved over the years. Today I'm recreating one of my classic 2016 sunset makeup looks that was originally done with the Morphe 35C palette. Now I sadly don't own my Morphe 35C palette anymore, so I'll be using modern eyeshadow palettes to give the look the justice it deserves. So to recreate this look, I'm going to be using the Be Perfect Cosmetics Carnival XL Pro palette and the Interstellar palette, as well as the P. Louise AM to PM palette. So if you're ready for a full nostalgia trip back to the golden era of makeup, just keep on watching. On a Sigma E42 brush, I'm going to take the shade Spacewalk from the Interstellar palette. And I'm going to place that through my crease up towards my brow bone. And I'm really packing that colour in there so we can get a nice intense colour payoff. Next, on a JH40 brush, I'm going to take the shade Funky from the XL Pro palette. And I'm going to use that shade to blend out my purple. There are a lot of other colours in this blend, so I am going to keep it pretty controlled. Next, on a Morphe M506 brush, I'm going to take the shade Classified from the Interstellar palette. And I'm going to use this to blend out that pink eyeshadow. I'm just slowly building the colour up so that I don't overpower the blend. On a Sigma E36 brush, I'm going to take the shade Woke from the Interstellar palette. And I'm going to use that shade just on the very edge of the blend like in the original look. So in the original look, we have of course got a cut crease going on, so I'm going to quickly go off camera and carve out my crease. I'm going to use my P. Louise paint in the shade Blank Canvas to do so. Alright, crease is cut. In the original look, I kind of have like an orange, purple, pink gradient going on the lid, so we're going to replicate that of course. On a Sigma E57 brush, I'm going to take the shade Ring the Alarm from the P. Louise palette. And I'm going to use that on the outer edge of the lid, bringing it in a third of the way. On the same brush, I'm going to take the shade New Era from the P. Louise palette. And I'm going to place that next to that purple shade. Again, I'm only going to bring it onto a little bit of the lid, leaving some space for our last shade. And on an Inglot 9S brush, I'm going to take the shade Sunrise from the P. Louise palette. And I'm going to use this right in the inner corner, blending it into that orange shimmer shade. And of course, in my original look, I just had to do liquid eyeliner. So I'm going to go in with this liquid liner from Beauty Bay, and I'm just going to draw on a small wing. Alright, let's move on to some 2016 inspired base makeup. For primer, I'm going to go in with this Maybelline Poreless Jelly Primer. Poreless primers were such the rage. It was always the Benefit Professional. That seemed to be a cult favourite in 2016. Oh, I may have gotten way too much, which also fits the vibe to be honest, because we all used way too much makeup. I'm putting it all over my face because I want everything to be poreless and blurred. So around this time is when I first started to get into Colourpop. So today for foundation, I'm going to take their Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Foundation. This product did not exist back then, but I couldn't even tell you what I used to use for my base back in the day. It was probably MAC or NARS or something like that because that was what was trending. And it definitely would have been a full coverage foundation. We didn't really wear any like tinted moisturizers or more sheer coverage products. Oh, I forget how much I like this foundation. It's so lightweight. I thought that foundation would have been a bit too orange for me, which would have fit the vibe we're going for today perfectly, but it's actually a perfect match. So up next for contour, I'm going to take this liquid concealer from Milani in the shade 02 Ginger. Liquid contour wasn't really a thing. It was mostly stick bronzers, especially when Kim Kardashian released her range. Everyone went crazy for that. This one is a bit warmer toned though, which is why I picked it because we kind of all used like bronzer as contour. Everything was just very warm toned and it just looked really terrible. I do remember though, I used to use this NYX contour palette and the colours were so cool toned. I just used to have this brown grey strip running up the side of my face. I'll insert a picture here if I can find one. But yeah, it was either too cool toned or too warm. There was no in between. So next step in my routine, it would typically be blush, but blush wasn't very prominent back then. And if you did wear blush, it was very, very subtle. Often it was just 2 strips of highlighter and contour. So I'm going to go in with this Inglot Cream Stick Blush in the shade Delicate Coral. This one is a bit more of a natural blush, so it's not going to overpower the look. It's going to give that very minimal blush effect, which is exactly how it was back in 2016. I actually can't believe how much time has passed so quickly. Like, it's almost been a decade. That is terrifying. Alright, up next is concealer. I unfortunately do not still have Tarte Shade Tape. I haven't used it in such a long time. I feel like I need to buy some more just to relive the fantasy. So I'm going to take this Too Faced Born This Way concealer, and you absolutely best bet I am doing the big triangles. Oh, that feels terrible. Under my eyes that we all used to do. Some people might still do it, and if you do, each their own, but this was just terrible to wear. I'm sure you can kind of understand why this felt terrible, but it was just so much product, and I was being very conservative with my concealer triangles. I feel like often there was so much more product than that, like it would go all the way down here. Even this lesser amount still feels and looks absolutely terrible. It's just completely ruined my base makeup, which is fantastic. Alright, next step is to set everything in place, and you best bet that I'm going to bake. So I'm just taking this Nakia Joy Cosmetics powder in the brightening form, and I'm going to use the bottom of my sponge, and we're going to bake this face. Now, this was the key to getting the most snatched jawline. Not gonna lie, sometimes I still do this. We also can't forget baking under the eyes. Everything about this feels oh so wrong. I just don't love how dry this makes everything. Like, it feels like all of the moisture's just being like sucked out of my face. And then you kind of just take the excess off your sponge and would just tap that base into place, because everything was also incredibly matte in 2016. And then of course you would go in with some powder on a brush and further set everything down, which is just crazy. Right, we're gonna leave that baking there for a minute before we wipe it off. So while my baking sets, I'm going to do a very blinding highlight. And this is a technique I actually used to do back in the day, and that is using an eyeshadow in place of a highlighter. But of course, we can't forget wetting our brush with setting spray. And of course, I have the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. So we're going to wet our brush, and I'm going to take the shade Fair Play from the Carnival XL Pro palette, and we are going to use that as our blinding highlight. That is so nostalgic, but I mean, it works so well. Definitely can't forget some on the Cupid's bow and the nose. You pretty much just want to drench your entire face in highlighter. It always was so over the top, and then face tuned to be even more blinding. Oh my god, that's insane. It looks so terrible on the skin too, because it just texturizes it so much. Alright, I think it is time to wipe this baking away. And if you've done it correctly, it will look like you haven't taken it off, which is exactly what has happened here. So I think we have slayed the baking. So I'm going to fill my brows in next. Heartbreakingly, I do not have my original Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade, but I do have their Brow Wiz. So I'm just going to run that through any gaps in my brow. I have done a soap brow today, which was definitely not the brow trend back in the day. It was balls, blocky, Sharpie brows, but I just can't commit to doing my eyebrows like that anymore. I just don't have the right products for it. In a way, I feel like the soap brow is a reimagined version of the Anastasia Dip Brow, because you still get a really full eyebrow. It just has a laminated look to it. Imagine how terrible our eyebrows would have looked if we did Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow through a soap brow. They would be ginormous. I almost forgot powder bronzer. I'm going to take this one from Colourpop in the shade Summerland Beach, and I'm just going to really pack more product on top and really put some of that orange pigment onto the face. And I'm going to really warm the skin up. Next up, we have to do a very matte lip look. I'm going to take this P. Louise lip liner in the shade Rich Tea. Lips were very overlined, if you even did a lip liner at all. I'm picking a very warm lip combo as well. We all did a very warm lip look. And of course, to finish the lips, we have to use a matte lipstick. In 2016, all everyone wore was matte liquid lipsticks. So I'm going to take this liquid lipstick from What's Up Beauty in the shade Caramel Veil to complete my ultimate matte lip look. This one feels so much nicer than the ones we had back in the day. They were always so dry. And as much as it pains me, I will be leaving my lips gloss free because we didn't really wear lip glosses in 2016. At least this liquid lipstick isn't sucking the life out of me. Now to set everything in place, of course we have to go in again with our Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. It smells exactly the same as it did 10 years ago, which is so crazy. And to set everything in place even more, I'm going to take the leftover powder from my sponge and just press over my skin just to really lock it in. And this is still a technique that actually works really well if you want your makeup to last longer. Just go in with some setting spray and tap over it with a sponge, or you can use a powder puff with some residual powder. It works really, really well. So let's quickly go and finish off the eyes. So I'm just going in with all of the shades that I used on the top of my eye underneath, and I'm just blending them out to recreate that sunset eyeshadow look. In my original look, I have black in the waterline, which is insane to me. So instead, to make it more modernized, I'm going to put a dark purple in the waterline. I'm just going in with the shade Piggy Bank from Colourpop. On a Morphe M321 brush, I'm going to take the shade Fair Play from the Carnival XL palette, and I'm going to place this in my inner corner for that blinding 2016 highlight. And for mascara, I'm going to go in with the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I feel like this one has been around for such a long time and it is still so good. And to finish off the eye look, I'm going to apply a big fluffy lash, and then I'll show you guys the finished look. And here is a close-up of the eyes all complete. And here is the finished full face look. I hope I did the 2016 version justice. Okay, I have to admit, recreating this 2016 makeup brought back so many memories. It's definitely more intense than what I would wear now, but there's something so iconic about that era of makeup. I actually really loved revisiting this look with modern techniques and seeing how much my makeup style has changed since then. It was also super nostalgic to go and do all of the tricks and techniques I used to do back then, like baking, blinding highlighter, etc. Let me know in the comments what your go-to makeup look in 2016 was, and if you think this era deserves a comeback. Well, I'm going to finish the video over here. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you want to see any other content from me, check out my Instagram at makeupwithalex. All of my social medias are linked down below. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!